Well, guys, here we are. Part 5 and the final part of my 1,000 subscriber special. Redoing and improving Super Megaforce, Part 5. It's been a journey, guys, and I can't believe we finally have arrived at the final part. But I am going to be so happy to finally put this project to rest. Since this is the finale of this 5-part saga, of course, this will be about improving the finale to Super Megaforce as well as the build-up. So let's not waste any time and get into it. After Prince Vakar has failed to destroy the Rangers so many times, Emperor Mavro has had enough and decides to take matters into his own hands. He decides to give the Prince one last chance by giving him his own Megazord. Vakar decides to take out his new Megazord out for a test drive. The Rangers form their Megazords, and Prince Vakar's Megazord puts up a fight. The legendary Megazord and the Q-Rex are taken down as the Rangers are thrown out of their Zords. Bosco eavesdrops on one of Mavro's conversations, and Mavro reveals that after the Rangers are destroyed, the Armada plans to destroy the Earth. Not wanting to see the Rangers and their home planet get destroyed, he hacks into the Armada's computer and transfers all files and data to the Rangers' database. Information about Vakar's Megazord is revealed to the Rangers through their Megazord's computer system in the middle of the Megazord fight, and the Rangers try a brand new Megazord formation by using all Ranger keys to combine the legendary Megazord and the Q-Rex Megazord with the Turbo Falcon into the legendary Ultrazord to take down Vakar's Megazord. The Rangers wonder why someone from the Armada would leak data of their own Zord to them, and the episode ends with Mavro getting furious about there being a traitor in the Armada, and the camera zooms in on Bosco with a worried look on his face. The next episode starts with the Armada finding out that Bosco sent information about Vakar's Megazord to the Rangers when they track down who stole the data of Vakar's ship. Mavro decides to give him one last chance, and Bosco is sent down to Earth with a mission to take down the Rangers and destroy their access to the morphing grid. The Rangers are sent to fight Bosco in his monster form, but during the fight, Bosco isn't his usual ruthless self as he hesitates to do anything. Since Bosco isn't doing anything, Mavro sends down 2 Royal Guards to destroy the Rangers. All 6 Rangers are forcefully demorphed, but Emma decides to keep fighting. Bosco snaps back to reality when he notices one of the Royal Guards fired a laser at explosive materials that Emma is standing way too close to. "Look out!" Bosco rushes and pushes Emma out of the way. The Royal Guards retreat and Emma chases after Bosco while the Rangers head back to the power chamber. "Hey, thanks for the save back there. I would have been a goner if it wasn't for you." "Don't mention it. I just didn't want to see anybody get hurt." "Why did you save me?" "Like I said, I didn't want to see you get hurt. I'm still loyal to the Armada. Don't think that this means I'm switching sides." "Are you sure about that? Noah went through our Megazord's database. If you're so loyal to the Armada, why did you send us information about defeating Vakar's Megazord?" Bosco reveals that in a flashback that he used to work for the Armada during their first phase of their attack. He and his wife were approached by the Armada and were forced to come with them if they wanted their planet spared from the invasion. But once they were on the ship, the Armada blew his planet up, and they took his wife and made him work on the ship for months. One day, while he was trying to break free and try to escape the Armada, he saw Vakar and some of his minions turn his wife into Princess Lavira, and they brainwashed her into joining them in their attack. Heartbroken that he saw the Armada blew up his planet and now turned his wife evil, Bosco started planning his revenge, until one of Vakar's henchmen finds him and brainwashes him into doing their bidding, while also giving him a monster form. It wasn't until he got a good look at Emma that he snapped out of it, because Emma reminded him of his wife before they both turned evil. Emma then gives Bosco a Power Rangers exclusive key for him as a Ranger that Billy created using the morphing grid. After Emma leaves, Mavro sends 2 of his best Royal Guards down to destroy Bosco. "Bosco, you have disobeyed the Armada for the last time. Prepare to be destroyed." Bosco then shapeshifts into his monster form and says, "I don't care if you destroy me. I'd rather be destroyed as a hero than live as a villain." Bosco then fights off the Royal Guards and ends up destroying them. Back on the Armada ship, Mavro watches this as Bosco is destroying the 2 royal guards. Mavro raises his sword and decides to smash the computer in frustration. One of the royal guards stops him and calms him down. Another one of the royal guards revealed to Mavro that during their last fight with the Rangers, he planted a tracking device on one of the Rangers' morphers and plans to use the tracking device to find out where the power chamber is and destroy the Rangers' access to the morphing grid. Bosco overhears this and teleports to the power chamber to warn the Rangers. After he gets to the power chamber, the Rangers don't believe him at first. The Rangers, except for Emma, pull out their weapons and fight Bosco unmorphed. "I didn't come here to fight you. I came here to warn you." "Guys, stop fighting." When Troy charges at him, he grabs Troy's morpher and destroys the tracking device. The Rangers question why Bosco helped them because they thought he was with the Armada. "I'm trying to help you." "How do we know this isn't a trap?" Bosco walks over to Emma. "You were right. I was fighting for the wrong side." Bosco turns to face the Rangers. "I know the Armada inside and out. I don't want the Armada to do to Earth what they did to my planet. You can trust me." "We can always use another hand in our fight against the Armada. Welcome to the team." Transition back to the Armada ship. In a surprising twist, Mavro planted not 1, but 6 tracking devices. "Did that idiot really think I was stupid enough to only plant 1 tracking device? This will be an invasion the Earth will never forget. It will make Astronomer's invasion look like a walk in the park." Zoom in on Mavro's face while he does an evil laugh, and to be continued. The next episode starts with the Rangers getting an alert that more Armada villains are attacking the city. The Rangers and Bosco leave to go fight. While the Rangers are distracted with the Emperor's monsters, the Emperor sneaks into the power chamber and destroys the morphing grid. With the Rangers' Zords destroyed, and the Rangers being unable to morph, the Armada unleashes armies of X-Borgs and Bruisers to destroy the Earth. Mavro gives the Earth 24 hours to surrender, or the Earth will be destroyed. The following morning, the Rangers fight the X-Borgs unmorphed without their powers to protect the civilians. But during the attack, the Armada kidnaps every Ranger except for Troy and takes the Rangers prisoners so they can witness the end of their own world. Troy steals an Armada ship to fight the Armada by himself and rescues his friends. Meanwhile, previous Rangers fight X-Borgs unmorphed and help out civilians. In the actual finale, it's Troy and Orion that go up to the Armada ship. Orion makes sense since he's avenging his home planet, but Troy has no connections to the Emperor. Back to my version, Troy sneaks onto the head Armada ship and fights armies of X-Borgs and Bruisers unmorphed. He rescues the other Rangers by shooting off the lock with his blaster, and the Rangers then get a message from Billy. "Bosco and I were able to revive the morphing grid, but you'll only be able to use your powers for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is all we need." The Rangers do an instamorph and run to the Armada's throne room. The Rangers challenge the Emperor to a 6v1 fight. The Emperor laughs at them. "Ha! You 6 against me? I have more strength in 1 toe than the 6 of you have in your entire bodies." The Emperor then sits down on his throne. "I don't even need to stand to take on you, Rangers." The other 5 Rangers distract the Emperor while Noah sneaks off to set a bomb inside the Armada ship and uses his RPM powers to hack the Armada computer system to transfer more energy into the morphing grid. The Rangers do a tribute morph to In Space and use the Galaxy Gliders to escape the exploding Armada ship. In the original airing, Mavro died, but in the extended cut he survived, causing the Rangers to use every Ranger mode they have to take him down once and for all. In my version, Mavro manages to escape the explosion by absorbing the entire morphing grid and gains the powers of every Ranger team all at once. Mavro uses the Mystic Force magic to revive every monster that the Rangers have defeated and summons thousands of X-Borgs that survived the explosion. With no morphing grid power left, the Rangers are hopeless and are too weak to fight Mavro's forces without their powers. "In case we lose, it's been an honor fighting alongside you guys. I'm proud to call you my team." "There's no way we can take on all these forces with just the 6 of us." The Rangers then hear a voice behind them. "How about 117 of us?" The Rangers turn around and see dozens of portals with over 100 Rangers. The Rangers are amazed seeing all these Rangers walk up to them. The MMPR Green Ranger then takes a few more steps and takes off his helmet. "Oh my god! Tommy Oliver! You're the most legendary ranger of all time!" "You don't have to do this with just the 6 of you. There are over 100 rangers that got your back." "What? Impossible! How did you all manage to get your powers back? I destroyed the morphing grid." "Destroyed a morphing grid, just not all of them." "I can't believe it!" Throughout all dimensions, there are different versions of the morphing grid, meaning that even if you destroyed a morphing grid, it doesn't mean you destroy the others. So we were able to transfer some of the morphing grid energy from different dimensions to the Rangers. "There's still no way all of you can defeat me and my army." "We defeated your forces once, we can do it again." Tommy then turns to Billy. "Billy, I thought you might need this." Tommy then hands Billy his old morpher with the Triceratops coin. "My old morpher? Tommy, how did you find this?" "That's not important. Your team could use your help, and something tells me you've been wanting to get back into action all year." Billy morphs back into his old blue Ranger suit. "Are you guys ready to make Ranger history?" "We've been making Ranger history for the past year." The Super Mega Rangers morph, and the army of Rangers charges into battle. Troy and Orion take on Mavro using every legendary Ranger ability they have. Noah, Jake, Gia, and Emma take on Mavro's army of monsters, while the legendary army of Rangers take on the X-Borgs. Bosco then teleports in the middle of the battle to help Troy and Orion, and he morphs using an all-new Ranger key that Billy created. The 3 of them use an attack that disables Mavro's connection to the morphing grid. The other 4 Super Mega Rangers defeat Mavro's army of monsters by using a special attack with the Super Mega Cannon in combination with their blasters. All the Rangers eventually end up regrouping and surrounding Mavro. "It's all over, Mavro. The Armada has lost. Either give up or be destroyed by the ultimate Ranger power." Every Ranger surrounds Mavro and channels all their energy into the ultimate attack and destroys Mavro. The energy from the attack is so powerful that every Ranger is forcefully demorphed. After that, it cuts to the Super Mega Rangers unmorphed, having one last talk with Tommy now that the Armada has been defeated. Vakar, Mavro, and the Armada are all finally gone. "We can't thank you all enough." "We should be thanking you. Your team made this whole legend possible." After studying and learning about Ranger history all year, we never thought it would come to this. We'd love to stay and chat, but we should really get going. Many portals open up behind the legendary army of Rangers, and every Ranger goes through the portals. After that, it cuts to the Rangers in the power chamber having one last conversation with Gosei and Billy. "Billy and I are so proud of you Rangers. Over the past year, you've learned so much about teamwork, friendship, and loyalty." "I can't believe this is goodbye." The Rangers walk out of the power chamber, Gosei puts himself back to sleep, and Billy closes up the entrance to the power chamber. Orion heads back to Andresia and keeps his Silver Ranger powers to defeat the Armada on Andresia, with Bosco tagging along. The Rangers on Earth end up graduating high school, and in the final scene of the series, Troy then walks up to the quarry where they had the legendary battle, raises his saber in the air, and plants his saber in the ground. And the series ends with Troy looking at his saber, saying, "Now that's what I call legendary Ranger history," and then walks away as the screen fades to black. Yeah, that's how I would fix Legendary Battle, as well as the build-up to the finale. What can I say about Legendary Battle that hasn't already been said? With every Power Ranger all together in one place for one epic legendary war, how do you make that so boring? As you might have noticed, I made the lead-up to the finale a character redemption arc for Bosco in the same way the Dino Supercharge finale was to Heckle. By giving Bosco a tragic backstory and motivation for why he's with the Armada, it makes his decision to eventually betray the Armada make more sense. Another thing that bothered me, aside from everything else that bothered me about Legendary Battle, was there was no wrap-up for the Megaforce Rangers. Troy plants his saber in the ground, and then the team decides to go home. And that's it. We don't get to see them graduate. Orion never says if he wants to stay on Earth or not. They don't even say goodbye to Gosei. And what was the purpose of Troy planting that sword anyway? I know we all wanted Super Megaforce to end as quickly as possible, but it would have been nice to see them say goodbye to Gosei. Okay, that does it for the finale, and wait a minute. Why is this video still going? I know I'm probably the only one that wanted to see this, but screw you, I need content, and I wanted to stretch this video out longer. Also, if this concept sounds familiar, that's because Mr. Weenie Productions had this idea first, and it was too perfect, so I decided to steal it. Sorry, Mr. Weenie. Also, I know this messes with the continuity, considering Dino Charge was later retconned to take place in another dimension, but on the other hand, who the hell cares? As I keep saying, this is a fan-made adaptation. Don't take it too seriously. When Wrench and Poisandra arrive on Earth looking for the Energems, they find the Super Mega Saber that the Super Mega Rangers left behind in the Legendary battle. Sledge does research and finds out that the saber comes from the Super Mega Rangers. Wrench revives Spellbinder and Duplicon, and Wrench combines the power of the Super Mega Saber with Spellbinder's Mind Control Pendant, and plans to use its power to take control of the Super Mega Rangers in order to destroy the Dino Charge Rangers. Duplicon creates a copy of Billy and hacks the morphing grid to create the Psycho Ranger keys. Fake Billy sends out a fake distress call to the Super Mega Rangers, saying that the Armada has returned. And with all the legendary powers gone, Billy used the morphing grid to create keys of the strongest Ranger team to have ever lived. Keep in mind, this is a copy of Billy. After using the Psycho Ranger keys, the Super Mega Rangers become mind-controlled slaves to Sledge, and Sledge tricks them into thinking the Dino Charge Rangers are the enemy. The Dino Charge Rangers get a distress call attacking Amber Beach, but it's not one of Sledge's monsters, it's the Super Mega Rangers. After finding out that the Super Mega Rangers are another team of Rangers, the Dino Charge Rangers try to snap them out of it, but it's no use as the Psycho Ranger keys are too powerful. After feeling hopeless, Keeper contacted somebody who might break the spell. The doors to the base open, the camera pans up, and it's Orion. Fade to black and to be continued. In Part 2, Orion helps the Dino Charge Rangers by helping them create an all-new Dino Charger to break the spell. Kendall then takes all the Rangers' Energems in order to develop an antidote to free the Super Mega Rangers. After receiving a distress call, the Dino Charge Rangers hold off the Super Mega Rangers the best they can unmorphed, while Kendall and Orion develop a new Dino Charger that combines Dino DNA with the legendary power of the Ranger Keys to create the Super Megaforce Dino Charger. Kendall rushes out and uses the Super Megaforce Dino Charger in combination with the Hypnotize Charger to break Sledge's spell, and the Super Mega Rangers are free. The Super Mega Rangers and the Dino Charge Rangers team up to take down an army of Sledge's revived monsters. The Super Mega Rangers would use all their legendary modes from MMPR to Angel Force, and the Dino Charge Rangers would use every Dino Charger that they have up until this point. Kendall even fused the power of the Energems with the power of the Ranger Keys to create Dino Charge Ranger Keys, and the Super Mega Rangers do a tribute morph to the Dino Charge Rangers. After both teams of Rangers defeat Sledge's army of monsters, Sledge and his gang retreat. The crossover wraps up with both teams having one last talk. The Super Mega Rangers say, "Sorry about the whole mind control thing. If we knew those Psycho Ranger keys were evil, we would have never taken them. And that it was so cool to fight alongside another team of Rangers." Gosei teleports the other Rangers back to the power chamber and has them put away their morphers and keys, for good this time, to make sure they don't fall into the wrong hands, just like Troy's saber did. Orion decides to keep his powers and stay on Earth in case any future teams of Rangers need his help. And now, after so many days of writing a 27-page long script, multiple audio recordings, dozens of bottles of water from recording audio to prevent my throat from getting dry, dozens of trips to the bathroom from those dozens of bottles of water, and hundreds of hours spent editing and uploading 5 videos, each over 10 minutes long, that is how I would personally redo and improve Super Megaforce. If this series does well, I can turn this into a series. How I would re-adapt? What do you guys think of that? In all seriousness, I want to thank each and every one of you for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. As I stated in the very beginning of part 1, after having 3 other accounts that were all deleted, I was happy just to have 100 subscribers. I can't imagine how a 16 or 17-year-old me would react to 1,000. When I started my YouTube journey when I was in high school, there were dozens of trolls leaving mean and disgusting comments. Some of them even leaked personal information. So now, after over 5 years after I started my first YouTube account, to see that I have an audience that actually appreciates what I do, which made all the trolls finally go away, 1,000 subscribers isn't that much. Even some of the bigger name TokuTubers have way more than that. But to a small kid from Indiana who started making YouTube videos as a distraction from the torture chamber that was high school, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. 1,000 subs means a lot to me, and here's to 1,000 more.